Hello everyone, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I'm beginning my 12 days of Christmas, but before I get started, I wanted to give a big congratulations to Bonnie Schultz. She won the Christmas giveaway. Bonnie, I've sent you a message through YouTube, so please reply and let me know your address and I will get your package out in the mail. So today I'm working with the Mary Mary paper pad and some stickers and ephemera, which is all in the Pebbles line. I'm just going to give you a quick look at what's included in all of those. So then jumping into card number 1, I'm going to use that frame die from MFT's Blueprints 32. Once I've got that front panel cut out, I'm using another frame die from the same blueprints, and I'm going to cut out a window where I'm going to create a shaker card. So this actually cuts out a frame. So what I'm doing here is adding some ATG gun to the back of that front panel, and then I'm going to trim down some scrap Neenah cardstock, and I'll place that behind to give me a white backing. Then to create my shaker window, what I'll do is pop up that frame. So right now I'm just using one of the stickers and I'm just using that frame for placement. Then here I'm going to attach some 1/8 inch score tape behind that. And I'll peel that away, and then I'm going to add a sheet of acetate that I've trimmed down. Next, I'm going to go ahead and create my border. So here I have run out of my Darice foam strips. So these are actually some that came in one of my Stampin' Up! Kits. And I like these quite a bit. They're slightly taller than the Darice foam strips, so they do work really well for shaker cards. I'm going to go ahead and run my powder tool around the edges just so my shaker elements don't stick. And I'm going to use some of these really pretty iridescent little snowflakes. I picked these up at the Target dollar spot. I'll go ahead and peel off my backing, and I'll place that on top of my little mason jar there. For my card base, I'm using MFT's Snow Cone cardstock, and this is an A2 size card. So I'll use my ATG gun and place that panel on the front. For the inside of my cards, I'm going to be using 2 different greeting sets from Mama Elephant. One is called Merry Greetings and the other is Jingle Greetings. I've trimmed down a Neenah panel to 4x5 1/4. And for this one, I'm going to use May All Your Christmases Be White, and I'm stamping that using Lawn Fawn Lobster ink. I'll attach that to the inside of my card base. And then I decided the front of my card needed a little something extra. So I'm again going back to that stamp set and stamping on some scrap Neenah, Warm Wishes this merry holiday season. I've trimmed that down just fairly close. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm going to place that below my shaker window there. And that will complete the first card. For card number 2, I'm again using my Blueprints 32 frame die, and I've just positioned that at the top of the paper to make sure that I can keep in that Santa's delivery list sentiment. I'm working on a card base made from MFT's Tropical Teal, and I'll use my ATG gun to attach that panel. I'm going to be working with some of the stickers and as well as 2 pieces of the ephemera, and I wanted to create sort of a road for my little car to be traveling on, and I kept thinking of, to grandmother's house we go. So I ended up trimming this down to just 2 of the music notes or bars to make it look a little bit more like a 2-lane highway. And then here I've gone ahead and just laid that strip across my card base, and I'm going to tuck these trees behind there. Then I'll attach that strip using my ATG gun. And here I decided that I would go ahead and use some foam dots to pop that car up off of the scene a little bit. For the inside, I'm again using a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4, and I'm stamping Sending Holiday Hugs using Lawn Fawn's freshly cut grass. Here I'll place that on the inside of my card base, and that completes card number 2. For card number 3, I wanted to create a little scene of these elves decorating the Christmas tree. So here I have trimmed off this is a 1-inch strip of MFT's milk chocolate cardstock, and I've just placed that on the bottom of this white panel with all of the Christmas sentiments going across it. And that's going to sort of be the floor of my scene. I did go ahead and trim that out again with the Blueprints 32 die, and I'm going to place that on top of my card base. This is made from MFT's Poppy cardstock. Then here I'm just going to lay out my scene, and when I'm happy with the placement, I'll go ahead and place the stickers down. Now I wanted to use this Deck the Hall sentiment, but I really just didn't like the florals that were around it, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim around just to leave that little bit of a wood grain around the outside of that gray sentiment. I've popped that up with some Scotch foam tape, and I'll place that down on the front of my card. For the inside, I'm again using a panel of Nina trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to stamp the sentiment Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. again using Lawn Fawn's freshly cut grass. I'll place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 3. For card number 4, I'm again trimming out a panel for the front of my card using this Blueprints 32 die. Now I wanted this to look sort of homespunny, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach some Scotch foam tape. I'm going to do 2 layers of that just on the top and bottom of the panel. And then I've got some green twine, and this I actually picked up. It's Miss Sparkle & Co. I got this at Joann's. So I wanted to wrap that around the center of this panel. So I just experimented a little bit, but I just tied down the end with that tape and then went ahead and wrapped it around. I left it somewhat loose so that I could go ahead and move it to sort of fill in that center there. So here I just added another piece of, this is micro pour tape that I'm using. And then I'm going to go ahead and fan those out a bit. And then I'm going to take another long strip of that micro pour tape and I'll place that all the way across the back of that string just to keep it nice and firm. Then to add a little bit of stick to that, I'm just going to run my ATG gun over it a couple times. And I'll peel off the backing from that foam tape, and then I'm gonna pop that on the front of my card base. For the back of this ephemera piece, I wanted to make sure it would stick really well over top of that twine. So here I'm using score tape, and I just used a mix of 1/2 inch as well as 1/8 inch. And I'm just going to place that down in the center and press on that really firmly. I did then take my stamping block and just run that over to make sure that it was stuck down nice and firm. Finally, I went ahead and used some mini dots from Stampin' Up. Placed that on the back of this little gingerbread man and then popped him on the front of the card. On the inside, I'm again using a Neenah panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment "Merry Christmas from our family to yours." Again, using that Lawn Fawn freshly cut grass ink. I'll place that on the inside of my card. And that completes card number 4. Now card number 5 is especially simple. I again trimmed out a panel using that Blueprints 32 frame, and I'm going to place that on the top of my card base. This card base is made from MFT's Sour Apple. And I think I forgot to tell you, the card base on the last card was made from MFT's Gumdrop Green. I will have that listed in my blog post. Then here I went ahead and took this Peace on Earth ephemera and I added some Stampin' Up! Foam dots all over the back of that. There's a mixture there of their large and small dots. I'm just going to peel away the backing and place that on the center of the card base. And then I've got this matching holly sticker just for something a little bit of shine and a little bit bigger. I added that on top. Here I'm going over that whole world with my Spectrum Noir shimmer pen. And then for the inside of the card, again working on a Neenah panel, that's 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to stamp Season's Greetings using Lawn Fawn's freshly cut grass. I'll place that on the inside of my card base, and that completes card number 5. For card number 6, I wanted to use this really beautiful blue and red floral paper. And then I was playing around with the extra that I had left over from that Santa's delivery paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach the leftover stripe. This measures just about 2 inches. And I'm placing that sort of off to the side there, but then I'm going to again use that Blueprints 32 frame and just place that so that I have a little bit of the blue peeking out on the far edge. I'll attach that panel to the top of my card base. This is made from MFT's Cherry Crisp. And then I'm using another piece of the ephemera. I'm going to go ahead and pop that up using some Scotch foam tape. So I'll place that on the front there. Next, I added a little bit of shine to those light bulbs using my Spectrum Noir shimmer pen. Then I thought that it wasn't quite enough. It still needed something extra. So I went ahead and pulled out some of my red jute, and I did use a double strand of that, but I'll spare you my bow tying skills. It takes me forever to get a bow that I'm happy with. So I put that together and then added it to the front using a glue dot. For the inside of the card, I'm using the sentiment Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'm stamping that using Lawn Fawn's Minty Fresh. Again, this is a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'll attach that on the inside of the card, and that completes card number 6. Here is a quick look back at the cards from today. You'll find additional photos as well as a full list of supplies at my blog post listed in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.